Welcome to today's class. When we exercise, oftentimes we're doing it for a reason where we think that we need to be more fit, we want to lose weight, we want to become stronger. And so I invite you today in your practice to just simply do it for the sake of doing it, for the sake of enjoying the movement and the way that our body is designed, and just finding pleasure within the simple act of doing the practice. We know that we are more likely to maintain a practice if it is something that we have fun doing. So think about that in your life, and think about what is it that you enjoy doing that is also good for you. Today we're going to start with a poem, and this poem relates to just simply doing instead of doing for a reason. It is titled Introduction to Poetry by Billy Collins. I ask them to take a poem and hold it up to the light like a color slide, or press an ear against its hive. I say, drop a mouse into a poem and watch him probe his way out, or walk inside the poem's room and feel the walls for a light switch. I want them to water ski across the surface of a poem, waving at the author's name on the shore. But all they want to do is tie the poem to a chair with a rope and torture a confession out of it. They begin beating it with a hose to find out what it really means. Okay, I'll read that again. I ask them to take a poem and hold it up to the light like a color slide, or press an ear against its hive. I say, drop a mouse into a poem and watch him probe his way out, or walk inside the poem's room and feel the walls for a light switch. I want them to water ski across the surface of a poem, waving at the author's name on the shore. But all they want to do is tie the poem to a chair and with a rope torture a confession out of it. They begin beating it with a hose to find out what it really means. Introduction to Poetry by Billy Collins. If you're coming along with me in the music, you can go ahead and turn on your Spotify playlist now. We're going to start in a seated position, a comfortable position. You could close your eyes. Breathing in and out through the nose. Seeing if you can extend the exhalation. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to take a deep breath in. Let your arms come up on the inhalation. Touching hands and exhaling back down. You can take your arms to the back. Look up towards the sky and exhale down. Breath up. Okay. Let's bring our hands, one hand over to the opposite knee, and reach the crown of the head up and find a gentle twist. Let's bring it to the other side through center. Bringing it back to center. We're going to take one arm up, the other one gently is placed behind you, fingertips on the ground or finger pads on the ground, and then swooping forward. Inhale up and exhale through center. just for the pleasure of it. What feels good in your body in this moment? See if you can tweak it a little bit and make it more pleasurable in your body. Last one. Bringing it back to center. Let's bring the body forward. You could bring your hands forward. We're going to arch the back in one way and then arch the back in the other way. Draw your elbows back. This is a seated version of cat and cow. Dropping a mouse into a poem and watching it find its way out. Last one. Bring it back to center. We're going to come over and onto all fours. We're going to plant our hands, strong hands. We're going to shift our body weight and begin to move one leg, warming up the joints. We usually do this in preparation for deeper stretches, but think about it as just in and of itself, a beautiful exploration of your body, of your hip joint, of the movement, feeling the weight and maybe the momentum of it. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that leg between the hands. You could come up into a low lunge. Place your hand on your thigh and lean back. Breathe. Bring it back in. Bring your hands down, shifting to the other side. Water skiing over the poem. Maybe move your head as you move your leg. And then taking that leg through, coming up, little pause, breathe. Bringing it back through center. We're going to bring that leg back and we're going to switch to a side plank, but we're going to do it kneeling. So just starting with one leg, doesn't matter which one, you're going to take that leg, let's do this one. You're going to take that leg and you're going to take it out to the side as like a little kickstand and see if you can get your top of your foot onto the ground. We're going to plant our hand on the floor right underneath our shoulder. We're going to extend the other leg and roll open. And let the arm lengthen upward and maybe lift that back leg. Celebration. What our bodies can do. We're going to bring the leg back down, but we're going to move the arm and we're going to take this arm that's up in the sky underneath our armpit and then bring it back up. Exhale down. Bring it back up. Breathe. Think of your arm as a big wing. One more time. Breathe. And then bring yourself back to center. We're going to take our knees wide and we're going to sink our hips back towards our heels. You can bring your hands underneath your forehead if you like. And open up the back of your body. Breathe. Coming back up, we're going to do the other side. So whichever leg you did first the last time, take the other one out to the side. Roll open, reach up. Option to keep that foot on the ground or lifting it up. Celebrate. Feeling what it's like to live in this body, yours. And then bringing that leg down, you could take the arm underneath and open. Find a pattern with your breath. Big, deep breaths. One more time. Bringing it back through center. Child's pose. Forehead can come to rest on the backs of the hands. And breathe here. We're going to sit up onto our heels. If you need to, you can always come up onto your knees. Just notice if this feels okay, palms up. And then see if you can get your spine nice and long. Let's interlace our fingers in front of our heart. Press them away. And then just try floating the arms up. Maybe 45-degree angle is enough. Maybe you can get your arms next to your ears and relax the shoulder blades down the back of your body. Keep a tuck in your tail so you have a nice, strong, low belly. No arching of the spine, excessive back, low back arch at least. And then bring it back down. Okay, hands come down. We're going to curl our toes under and we're going to try coming onto the balls of the feet. So just notice how this feels to your low back. You can have your belly on the tops of your thighs. And this is a good stretch for the Achilles tendons. And then we're going to press to rise, coming into standing. Mountain pose, feet are hip width apart, engage your low belly. We're just going to take the arms down the side of the body and draw them up. So this is lateral flexion, side bend. See if you can keep your shoulders and your hips in the same plane. So keeping yourself like you are in between two planes of glass. And then notice the touch. Last one. And then bring it back to center. Okay. We're going to step to the front of our mat. We're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to find our way into forward fold. So coming down nice and slow, hinging at the hips. You can have your knees bent. In fact, bending your knees so you can get your hands down by the sides of your feet. Then we're going to step the right foot back. Left foot back and come into downward facing dog. Coming forward into plank position. Holding it here for a couple of breaths. Feel the strength of your body, the strength of your spirit. Knees come down and then elbows come down by the sides of your body, lowering yourself as one unit. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Pull yourself forward. Tops of the feet meet the mat. Press down gently with your pelvis. Make sure that your elbows are right underneath your shoulders here for optimal belly stretch. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back up. We're going to curl our toes under, come into our downward dog. And then we're going to come onto one foot. The right leg can lift up. We're going to look underneath our armpit. Breathe here. We're going to step this foot that's up in the air through between the hands, and we're going to hold it. And then I'm going to pivot my back foot, and I'm going to come into a warrior two on this side. Breathing. Finding that optimal distance between your 2 feet. Just for the pure pleasure of warrior two. Palm up, front hand, reach up and back. Look up to the sky. Side bend. Breathe. Let's take a deep breath in and bring it back to center. We're going to pick up our back foot and bring it in a little bit. And we're going to turn our hips towards the front of the mat for pyramid. So the front leg is straight. Be very careful with the knee. As we come over, we want to lengthen the spine. Maybe you're right here. Maybe you can come down. Maybe your hands could reach down. Maybe they could come to the floor. Wherever you are, just let your head relax, chin to chest. Breathe. We're going to bend that front leg and come back up. And then stepping that back foot to meet the front. Take a deep breath in. We'll do the other side. Exhale, forward fold. Knees bend. Left foot steps back. Right foot steps back. Downward facing dog. Plank position. Holding it here. 2 breaths. Strong. Dome up the upper back. And then knees can meet. Lowering yourself as one unit down. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Sphinx. Breathe. Take a deep breath in. Hands come back underneath. Curl your toes. Downward facing dog. Left leg goes up into the sky. Bending at the knee. Flexing the foot. Looking underneath the left armpit. We're going to step that back foot, the foot that's in the air, between the hands. Turn that back foot. Come up and warrior two. Other side. Breathe. Strong. Palm up. Reach up. Exalted warrior. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back to center. We're going to step this back foot in a little bit and turn the hips to face the front, straightening the front leg for pyramid pose. Coming over. Could let your hands come down. Breathing. Bending that front knee. We're going to come up and step that back leg forward. Here's our mountain pose. Take a moment here and just feel into your joints, into your muscles. Okay, shifting our body weight to the left side. The right foot is going to come up. We're going to find balance right here. Relax your jaw. Find something to gaze at. Now, option to stay here or option to take that front leg, the leg that's up in the air, out to the side, and then lift opposite arm, and then maybe lift both arms. This is our floating tree pose. We're going to come out the same way. Hand comes here to the leg, center, and then down. Let's try the other side. Shifting your body weight. I'll turn so you can see what it looks like from the front. You could hold it right here. Flexing the foot helps. Find your drishti. You can hold it right here, or you could take that leg out to the side. Opposite arm up. Shoulder down away from the ears. Arm. Breathe. Coming out the same way. Hands. And then down. Okay, let's give it a little shake and a little wiggle. Maybe a little bouncing for the pleasure of it, just for the sheer joy, but also knowing that it's good for our connective tissue. Okay, we're going to come to the front of the mat, and we're going to come into a pose that is the pose of the day. So we're going to step the right foot back, come into warrior two, but instead of bending the front leg, we're going to straighten it. So this is our triangle pose, Trikonasana, pose of the day. Now I want you to be very cognizant, aware of that front leg, and make sure that you're not hyperextending the knee. Maybe even put like a little micro bend in it. Just create a little bit of tension in that knee so that it's not hyperextending. Arms come out, and then we're going to take it forward with the chest and back just a few times. So feel that shift, and the hip comes back a little bit, and then back to center, towards the front a little bit. Could feel into your forearms, into your wrists. And then when you're ready, bringing it forward, we're going to come over. You could grab onto your shin. Spent many years grabbing onto my shin until I was able to walk my hand down into the floor or to a block. So if your block is available, this would be a really excellent time to use it. Arm comes up into the air. Trikonasana, triangle pose. To come up, we lift and use our core strength. And then let's turn both feet so they're facing the same direction, long ways on the mat. We're going to come over, straightening the spine. Breathe. You could let your upper body sway. My feet are parallel at this point. This is straddle splits, standing. Okay, to come up, we're going to use our core strength. You could bend your knees if you needed to, turning your feet out, or come straight up like this. And then the back foot to the back of your mat, we're going to do that warrior pose. So we're just shifting to the back of the mat to do the other triangle, the other side. Straighten the front leg, and then reach. Just for the pleasure, just for exercising for the soul, celebratory aspect. And then when you're ready, come to the front. Hand could come to the shin. You could hold on. Reach, reach, reach. The other arm up. You could walk your hand down to a block or to the ground. Breathe, breathe, breathe. To come up, we use our core strength. Now, the front leg turns, and we are actually going to do some squats here. So what I want you to do is turn your feet out so that your knees track over your ankles. So goddess pose, arms up, exhale down. And then you could bring tension into the arms as you reach up. You could bring your fists together and then spread your fingers. So exhale down. Keep the tension out of your face and your jaw. Last one, holding it here. We're going to see if we can bring our arms out, tucking the tail under so that you really feel like you're nice and strong. Arms out. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then slowly turn palms up and rise. We're going to toe heel our feet back underneath. And we're going to come down and onto our back bodies. Pressing your low back into the ground. We're going to create the position where there is no arch in your spine. We're going to make our arms really strong down by the sides of our body. We're going to walk our feet in a little bit, and then we're going to lift our pelvis up, keeping our thighs parallel. Breathe into our bridge pose. Notice what it is that you feel. Contraction on the back of the body, opening on the front of the hips. And if you're feeling like you want to release, you could go ahead and release or just hold it 2 more deep breaths with me. And slowly, with control, lower yourself back down and notice the moment when you touch, because that's the moment everything releases and you feel so soft and loose. Soles of the feet come together, knees can come out, arms can come out, palms up. See if you can relax into this pose. Breathe. Now, playing a game with yourself, seeing if you can just use your inner thigh muscles to bring your legs back together again. They're going to feel like they've stretched. So when they contract and they're stretchy, that's a little intense sensation, but they might quiver, but that's okay. So slowly draw your legs together. They might quiver. Extending right leg long. We're going to shift our body weight over to that right side, and then the top of the left foot comes to the thigh and draw the knee across. Look in the opposite direction. See if you can keep your shoulders rooted on the ground. Bringing it back to center. Let's try the other side. Other leg long left. Shift to the left. Foot comes to the top of the thigh. Spinal twist opposite direction. Looking, rooting shoulders down. Taking a deep breath in Exhale back through center. We're going to bring our knees into our chest and roll front to back a couple of times. And find our way, just for the pure pleasure of it, into boat pose. After a couple of rolls. You could always keep your hands next to your legs, your knees bent. Or you can begin to extend the legs, extend the arms. This requires more strength as you move further away from the core. You might flex your feet, you might spread your toes. Breathe. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring the legs back down. Cobbler's position. Feet together, soles of the feet, and sit up as straight as you can. Okay, let's release those legs. We're going to take them wide on the mat. We're going to bring our feet or our knees side to side. A little massage. Now we're going to do inverted table, but the version of inverted table that you could do is not lifting your bottom off the floor. So you could have your feet hip width apart. Your fingertips are pointed to the front of the mat. You could squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. Nice long line. This is where you could stay. Or you could try lifting up the hips, but no sharp shooting pain. This is pretty intense opening of the front of the body, front of the shoulders. So taking a deep breath in, either squeeze and hold it or lift the hips up. Keep the head in line with your spine. Breathe. Strength. Be interested and curious. Okay, we're going to come down nice and slow, the same way we came in. Okay, bring it back to center. We're going to sit with the left leg out, the right leg in. We're going to rotate our spine so that it is the long width of the leg. And we're just going to ease our way down, maybe reaching the opposite arm over to your shin or to your ankle or to your foot. So we don't want to pull on the neck, but we want to just let the chest comes towards the thigh. We're looking for a stretch through the side body, including that low back on the opposite side. So breathing. Let's find our way back up. We're going to switch it to the other side. Foot comes in. We're going to rotate our chest. Reach over with the opposite arm. Chest towards the thigh. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then slowly find your way up. Bring our legs center and just give them a little wiggle. You could pat your legs. And we are going to find our way into final relaxation. So finding your way down and onto the ground. Placing yourself carefully. So sometimes when people come to class, they ask, what is the point? What is the purpose of final relaxation? And you'll find that perhaps it does serve a really important purpose in that it allows you to integrate before moving back out into the regular world. It's a meditation, it's a calming of the mind so that you can be more grounded as you move your way back into the rest of your life. Noticing if you can find pleasure in this moment. Final relaxation, just for the whole point of experiencing final relaxation. Putting an ear next to the hive and listening. Looking through a kaleidoscope, watching the colors dance. Loosening your grip on your practice so that you can be present in the moment to all that arises. Staying here for as long as you can, as long as you desire. Finding your way up. Coming into seated position. Namaste.